To come from a wealthy family, there are few things quite like being born into a mansion with a silver spoon in your mouth. And then there are all the amazing things that come after. Birthday parties that put all your friends' birthday bashes to shame. Family vacations that last for months on end and take place around the globe. Holidays with caviar on fine china and a live band. Yes, being a member of a wealthy family is an experience unlike any other. And though there are 46.8 million millionaires worldwide, with their collective richest totaling up to $158.3 trillion. The 25 richest families in the world control about $1.4 trillion of that. So, pour yourself a glass of champagne and pretend your robe is Gucci, because today we're going to see how the richest families live and find out what it's really like to have a family worth hundreds of billions of dollars. And a quick note so that we're all on the same page here. The families on this list do not include world leaders. I won't be touching on any sheiks, kings, or Putin. If you'd like to see a video on the richest world leaders, well, I'll be linking that at the end of this video. Starting with number 5, Ortega. When I think of the wealthiest families, my mind generally drifts to families who made their millions on oil, diamonds, or tech. However, the 5th richest family in the world made their money in fashion, and it wasn't on luxury fashion either. The Ortega family is worth an estimated $73.8 billion. Their patriarch, Amancio Ortega, amassed that fortune from practically nothing. He left school at the age of 14 and began working in an entry-level position as a shirt maker to make money for his family. While working there, he learned the tricks of the trade and eventually took those lessons and created his own clothing company. And that company became none other than Zara. What was once a small company made by a high school dropout has since morphed into one of the world's most recognizable clothing stores. With over 6,500 shops in 88 different countries. From Zara alone, Amancio earns $400 million in dividends. His company has made him the 6th richest person on Earth, a position that one would imagine coming with diamond-encrusted everything, fancy cars, and a brand-name clothing. Well, you'd be right, as long as that brand-name clothing is Zara. Amancio wears the exact same outfit from Zara every day. While working at Zara's physical office, he was known for eating a bagged lunch in the company cafeteria with all of his employees as well. So, what on earth does he and his family do with his fortune? Well, that's a bit of a mystery. Until 1999, there weren't even any public pictures of him. In his life, he's only given 3 interviews, telling the public he aims to live the most private life possible. It is known that he has 3 children and has been married twice. That being said, public records are public, so his real estate purchases aren't private whatsoever. In terms of businesses he's purchased, he's bought Cepsa Tower in Madrid for $551 million. Epic Residences and Hotel in Miami for $536 million. Torre Picasso in Spain for another $536 million. A hotel in Chicago for $72.5 million. And the E.V. Harwatt Building in New York for $145 million. And for private residences, he purchased a $1.1 billion building in D.C. and an apartment in New York for $67.6 million, as well as an entire block of property in Miami Beach for an undisclosed amount. But that's not all. He also owns an equestrian center in Galicia, Spain, where he likes to spend a lot of his time, at least when he's not on his mega yacht, Drizzle, which was built in 2012. Number 4. Slim. The 4th richest family in the world made their fortune the old-fashioned way, by investing in anything and everything. The family of Carlos Slim has a startling estimated net worth of $77.1 billion. Carlos Slim started making money early. At the age of 11, he invested in a government savings bond. By 15, he was a shareholder in Mexico's largest bank. And at 17, he started working at his father's company. Very quickly, Carlos became a stock trader. He bought several companies, including Harlitos, and expanded his reach into real estate, retail, food, and tobacco. As his fortune grew, he began buying stock in American companies like OfficeMax, Office Depot, and Barnes & Noble. As of 2019, Carlos Slim became the largest shareholder of the New York Times, owning 17% of the company. And when he wasn't out making a fortune, Carlos was busy helping his wife raise their 6 children. Keen on keeping his family healthy, Carlos led his children to buy and sell stock, creating a mini Wall Street right in his own home. And my, does he have a nice home, or homes, I should say. He owns a 6-bedroom home in Mexico City an 11-story office building in New York worth $140 million, 8 acres of real estate in Beverly Hills, a mansion in New York at 10 West 556th Street, and Duke Seymour's Mansion in New York, which spans 20,000 square feet, has 12 bedrooms, 14 bathrooms, and even a doctor's office in the basement. Number 3. Koch family. It's a name you surely recognize, even if you don't know why you do. The Koch family is the third richest family on the planet, with an estimated net worth of $124.5 billion. Their fortune can be traced back to Fred Koch, who developed a new method for the refinement of crude oil into gasoline. The oil refinery firm he established eventually became Koch Industries, which is now the second largest privately owned business in America. After his death, his 4 sons, Fred, Charles, David, and William, litigated against each other over the business and the fortune it entailed. After a brutal legal battle, David and Charles bought out their brothers for $1.1 billion. From that point on, they were known as the Koch brothers. Koch Industries mainly deals in oil, buying and selling 80 million barrels of oil per year and operating over 3,000 miles of pipeline. David Koch died in 2019, leaving his 42% stake in the company to his heirs, and to this day, Charles owns 42%. So, how does this family spend their money? Well, primarily in politics. The Koch brothers have given more than $100 million to libertarian and Republican causes, with their primary focus being on decreasing environmental laws and discrediting climate change. That being said, they're also fans of real estate. David's widow, Julia, has homes in Aspen, the Hamptons, New York City, and Palm Beach. Charles and his family own homes in Indian Wells, California, Wichita, and Aspen. Number 2. Mars. So far, we've talked about families who have made their fortune in fashion, oil, and investment, but there's one surprising industry we haven't tackled just yet: candy. If you like M&M's, Milky Way bars, Skittles, Snickers, Twix, or even Wrigley gum, then you have the Mars family to thank. With an estimated net worth of $126.5 billion, the Mars family is the second wealthiest family on Earth. Mars Incorporated was founded way back in 1911 by Frank C. Mars. His son Forrest went on to invent Milky Way, Mars bars, and M&M's, which propelled the company to worldwide success. Since then, Mars Incorporated has expanded their reach to pet food, beverages, and snacks as well. In March 2010, Forrest's 3 sons tied for the 56th richest person in the world, each having a fortune of $11 billion. Unfortunately, Forrest Jr., one of his sons, passed away in 2016, leaving his portion of the family fortune to his daughters. The family is incredibly private, offering no interviews or public photographs, though I can imagine they live fairly comfortably with a fortune like theirs, and I'm sure they've got an M&M dispenser or 2 laying around. Number 1. Walton. The wealthiest family in the world owns a company with 11,496 stores that can be found in 27 countries. It's not a big store, not an expensive store, but it's a store that sees $526 billion in revenue every year. Any guesses? Well, I'll give you a hint. Despite what Paris Hilton may have thought, they don't sell walls there. The Walton family, the family behind Walmart, is worth $225.2 billion. Walmart was founded by Sam Walton in 1962 and has since grown to become the world's largest retailer and the world's largest private employer, with over 2.2 million employees. As of 2014, the Walton family collectively owned 50.8% of Walmart. In 2018, they sold a bit of stock, so the family now owns a bit under 50%, which is still enough to make them the richest non-royal family on Earth. Rob, the eldest son, has a fortune of $53 billion. He has a mansion in Paradise Valley, Arizona, though he spends most of his money on fancy cars. In 2013, he ran his Daytona Coupe, which was one of 5 made, off a track and wrecked it. The car was worth $15 million at the time, though that's nothing but change to him. John, the second son, died in a plane crash in 2005. His wife, Christy, now has a fortune of $8.8 billion. She listed their Jackson Hole Ranch for $68.7 million. The 8,000 square foot home even comes with its own elk herd. And the youngest son, Jim, is worth $53.4 billion. Sam's daughter, Alice, is worth $44.4 billion, making her the richest woman on Earth. wealth. So, there you have it, the richest families on the planet. What do you think of how they've amassed their fortune, or of how they spend it? Let me know in the comments below what things you would buy if you had a few $1 billion laying around. And if you'd like to see a video on the world's richest leaders, you can check that out here. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Oh, and maybe turn on post notifications for the one time. As always, I'm Mr. Luxury. Pip pip, the doodly doo.